If you remember in one of my videos, I mentioned that it is possible to get accommodation in the United Kingdom while you are still back home abroad. So I'm going to make a comprehensive video now. I'm going to talk more about that. But then I need to first establish the fact that on arriving in the UK as a new immigrant, everyone needs to get a biometric resident permit. That is BRP. That is what gives you the license. It's like your own temporary green card. That's what gives you the license to stay in the UK, to work, or even to study. Do you get? You're looking for a house, you need your BRP to get a house. And like for instance, if you're a couple, you are a husband and a wife, they will only make use of one person's BRP because you're renting the same house, you're going to be living in the same house. So only one person has to tender his or her BRP. So if you're back home, people know that you're desperately in need of a house. And if you have friends and or family here, they can just say, okay, well, this other partner, you use your own BRP to get another house because each person only has the privilege of renting a house. With your BRP, you cannot rent more than one house, although you can buy more than one house. But for renting, you cannot rent more than a house. So the other partner can use his or own BRP that is pair one to rent another house for you so that when you eventually move into the UK, you move into the house that they have rented. Do you understand me? But then it has some of its own downsides. Yeah. And one of the downsides is that when you move in, the agent does not recognize you as the occupant or as the right occupant of that house. Neither does the landlord know you as the occupant of that house. So another thing is that these people can even go as far as adding more money to the rent. Like say for instance, in the northeast part of the England here, things are not that expensive. So you can even get a good two-bedroom terrace for 450,000. Oh, did I just say 450,000 naira? For 450 pounds. So instead of them to now tell you the house cost this, they might, put their own overage and give you like double. They can say it's 900 pounds. Do you get? And since you don't have access to the landlord, you don't have access to the agents, you cannot question them because you have to keep paying this friend or family to pay the rents on your behalf. And as a result, it means that you don't have a rent history. And where the problem will start is when you want to leave that place to go and rent another house. If you want to leave that place to go and rent another house now, you need a rent history. So the agent or maybe the landlord is going to ask you when you came into the UK and they would like to know, they are really interested in where have you been living before you were trying to move to this place. They want to know the history. So if you say, okay, I've been living in this address for how long? So they'll see, okay, for maybe 3 months, 6 months. So they want to know, did you rent that address? If you say yes, you rented that address, they will request for your landlord's information. They want to get across to your landlord to know if you're a good occupant, if you are not owing and all of that. So in this case, the landlord does not know you. So you'll be skeptical about sharing the landlord's information because the landlord cannot relate with you. You get? And that's where problem can start setting in. However, if I would advise you, what I would say is when you're moving to the UK, you can settle in Airbnb first, maybe for a week or two. I made one of my videos, I said that we got our own accommodation within 1 week. It is possible, it is doable. So you can stay in Airbnb while you actively start searching for accommodation. You can see that video to know how we were able to achieve that. And another thing that you can do is you can stay, you can, you can put up with family and friends for like 1 week because in actual fact, you cannot put up with a family or a friend for more than 3 weeks. So you're supposed to, if you're visiting or anything, you can't stay more than 3 weeks. If you're staying more than 3 weeks, then they'll be raising bro. That means you need to pay rent. That means you must have rented that apartment. everybody is expected to stay with his or her own family. You're not supposed to be visiting people about. So, do you get? So now, if you have family and friends that have rented houses, you can put up with them for 2 weeks, for 3 weeks, while you start looking for a house. And once you get a house, that's fine. But in a situation where you have a family or a friend that has bought a house, that own a mortgage, that's even a plus for you. In that case, you can even decide to stay more. Do you get? You can decide to stay longer than that, because they will need referencing. So if they ask for your rent history, you could say that you have been with your family or your friend that has that house. Do you get? And then when they ask if that your friend is the owner of the house, you can say yes. So they can ask for the landlord's information. You know that your friend is the landlord. Your friend can easily say, yeah, you rented it, and all those kind of things. Is even better for you. So if you would like to know any other thing about renting a house in the UK, feel free to drop it in the comment section, and I'll be more than willing to answer any of your inquiries. And please do well to like this video if you haven't, because by liking my videos, YouTube gets to recommend it to a wider audience. And if you're seeing my face for the very first time, do well to smash the subscribe button. It costs you nothing. It costs you nothing actually. And turn on notifications. I hope to see you in my subsequent videos. Bye.